Give us a sec.
Yeah. Oh, forget it. I'm good.
Put it in your suit coat.
Yeah, there you go. You're so smart. Bam. Just that thing going across.
There you go.
It is time for the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Tournament, brought to you by the Iowa Farm Bureau. We are at the last quarterfinal in Class 5A today, as it's Waukee Northwest, the 3 seed, taking on the 6-seeded Cedar Rapids Prairie Hawks. Hi again, everyone, with Lord Leonard. There you are. I'm BJ Shaven, and welcome here to Wells Fargo Arena. What a matchup here to end the 5A quarters.
Yeah, we've seen some good games so far today in 5A, and this one's going to be no exception. And Waukee Northwest, a young team that has made their way here with a very veteran coach, and on the other side, a veteran coach as well, who's done it at all different schools at all different levels.
Well, earlier today, top-seeded Johnston disposed of Iowa City Liberty by a score of 73-45. Centennial had a big lead, held on to beat Pleasant Valley. And then Dowling Catholic just disposed of Davenport North. That leads us to this quarterfinal. As you see the road to state for Prairie, this is a team that hasn't been here since 2020. They are the Region 7 champ, defeated Cedar Falls in the final. They're averaging nearly 64 points per game. And look out for their playmakers in Asia Beal and Kiana Worley.
Yeah, they are certainly a dynamic duo, and you can see they have very balanced scoring. They have 4 of their starters in double figures, so very tough to defend.
And for Waukee Northwest, 20-4 on their campaign, defeated Ankeny in a nail-biter in the regional final. They can really shoot the 3. They can defend the block. They got Rami Croat, who can really play and defend along with Vanna Billick.
Yeah, and as we talked about, they're a young team, and they certainly have put things together and have continued to grow as this season has gone on.
Well, when we come back, it'll be time to take a look more in-depth to the matchup. It's Cedar Rapids and Waukee Northwest. It's the 5A quarterfinal as you're watching the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union quarterfinals, brought to you by Mid-American Energy.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Wow, what a great day for basketball here at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines. It is the opening day and the last game in Class 5A in the quarterfinals as Cedar Rapids Prairie is taking on Waukee Northwest. And Laura, when you look at the matchup, what are the seeds for success here?
Well, for Waukee Northwest, what they need to do is they need to execute it in the half court. They want to make sure that they get the good rotations on offense, get the best shot possible, and they need to dictate the pace. They need to get up and down the floor when they can, but they need to slow it down as well, and they can dictate that pace doing it by their defense. And then for Cedar Rapids Prairie, they got to have that balanced scoring again, and that's what they've had all season long. And then they need to limit turnovers. You cannot give this young Northwest team a lot of opportunities by turning it over and letting them get out and run. So those are the seeds for success, and the seeds for success were brought to you today by Channel Seeds.
Yeah, hey, farmers, you're going to have to wait a little while before you start planting. It's the Girls State Tournament. We're going to have a blizzard midweek.
Right.
Can't wait for that. Well, we're going to take our final break before tip-off. When we come back, we'll have your team introductions and starting lineups for this tournament matchup as you're watching Girls State Basketball presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, a fifth-generation farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau.
And I'm Erin Gerlich, executive director of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We're excited to have you join us for the Girls State Basketball Tournament.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to be the title sponsor of this amazing event. Iowa's farmers work endlessly to grow and raise nutritious food and sustain our local communities. Similarly, Iowa's student athletes dedicate countless hours to train and excel in their sport. Partnering with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union allows us to celebrate farmers and student athletes while supporting and empowering the Iowa girl.
Reaching the state tournament is a tremendous achievement, and it requires strong support. Thanks to the Iowa Farm Bureau, we can celebrate and honor students for their accomplishments on the basketball court and in the classroom. The Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to your success, assisting our organization in providing awards, grants and scholarships, as well as concussion insurance and these wonderful championship hats. These contributions not only protect student athletes' health, but also highlight outstanding performance in both athletics and academics.
As Iowans, we have so much to be proud of, and every single one of us plays a role in making our state great. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau
and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union,
congratulations on an outstanding season and best of luck in the tournament.
Hey, this 5A quarterfinal is about ready to get underway. Waukee Northwest and Cedar Rapids Prairie. First time ever that these two schools are meeting in basketball. Of course, Waukee Northwest, relatively young, new school, as it split off from Waukee High just a few years ago. And Cedar Rapids Prairie, again, making their first trip to the state tournament since 2020. Laura, this should be a dandy of a matchup.
Yeah, and two young teams, so expect to see these teams over the next few years. And Northwest starts 4 sophomores and a junior. Cedar Rapids Prairie starts 2 juniors and a sophomore, along with a couple of seniors.
Let's turn it over to today's public address announcer as we get introduced to the teams.
Good afternoon, fans. Welcome to today's 2025 Girls State Basketball Quarterfinal matchup featuring the Cedar Rapids Prairie Hawks and the Waukee Northwest Wolves. Fans, tradition is an important part of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's storied history. Because our past is an integral part of what we do today, we ask that everyone in attendance please join in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all the women who have participated in high school athletics in Iowa. Once an Iowa girl, always an Iowa girl. Fans, at this time, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and the Iowa Farm Bureau would like to recognize the outstanding sportsmanship shown by Cedar Rapids Prairie High School and Waukee Northwest High School. In recognition of the importance of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school was asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. Tegan Dungy, a member of the IGHSAU Student Athlete Advisory Committee, will present each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serves as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From Cedar Rapids, Prairie, Mike Hicks. And from Waukee Northwest, Jay Winter. The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union promotes good sportsmanship by participants, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants, officials, and spectators in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or abusive comments, or intimidating actions directed at officials, participants, coaches, team representatives, or event personnel will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We thank you for your cooperation and invite you to enjoy the game. All right, fans, it's now time to introduce the players in today's quarterfinal matchup. First, the non-starters and assistant coaches for Cedar Rapids Prairie. Number 1, Melina DeVille. Number 10, Hope Hazen. Number 15, Kennedy Johnson. Number 22, Presley Estrada. Number 24, Kylie Wachtel. Number 25, Kennedy Menchall. Number 30, Brecken Lechtenberg. And number 34, Reese Gert. Assistant coaches for Cedar Rapids Prairie, Joe Huck, Steve Stumpf, Ashley Grimm, and Scott Leggett. And now let's meet your non-starters and assistant coaches for Waukee Northwest. Number 2, Kennedy Princehouse. Number 10, Dylan Peterson. Number 12, Sadie McCann. Number 20, Adeline Wigg. Number 30, Liv Brown. Number 34, Victoria Burpo. Number 40, Chloe Moen. And number 44, Olivia Templeman. The assistant coaches for the Wolves, Trent Smith, Rob Newton, Ben Dewey, and Francis Nagusi. And now let's introduce the starters for both teams in alternating fashion. For Cedar Rapids Prairie, a 5'6" senior guard, number 2, Nevaeh Diaz-Doolin. For Waukee Northwest, a 5'9" sophomore guard, number 14, Leah Januluich. For Cedar Rapids Prairie, a 5'3" sophomore guard, number 3, Kiana Worley. For Waukee Northwest, a 5'8" junior guard, number 22, Vanna Billick. For Cedar Rapids Prairie, a 5'10" junior forward, number 5, Brinley Haydenfeld. For Waukee Northwest, a 6'1" sophomore forward, number 24, Logan Vogt. For Cedar Rapids Prairie, a 5'11" junior guard, number 11, Emily Larson. For Waukee Northwest, a 5'10" sophomore guard, number 32, Romy Crowett. For Cedar Rapids Prairie, a 5'8" senior center, number 23, Asia Beal. And for the Wolves, a 6'1" sophomore forward, number 54, Cassidy Danberg. Head coach for Cedar Rapids Prairie is Bruce Dahl, and the head coach for Waukee Northwest, Sam Powell. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the area in front of the scorer's table for the introduction of our officials for today's game, as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Adam Walderbach, Brandon Smith, Andrew Kane, and the bench official, Cody Buzel. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for state tournament basketball.
Oh, you can feel the excitement in the air. It's a Class 5A quarterfinal with Laura Leonard. I am BJ Shaban here courtside as the two teams ready to battle for the first time ever. Cedar Rapids Prairie wearing the black uniforms with orange numbers trimmed in white. Waukee Northwest, the Wolves. White numbers, navy blue trimmed in gray. As we are about ready to get this one underway, Adam Walderbach will be tossing it up in the air. As jumping in the middle will be Logan Boat going against Beal. And this opening tip is going to be controlled by the Wolves, coming in at 18-4. This team into the state tournament. So you see this one is lost. Last touch by Prairie. And it will be long to Waukee Northwest. Cedar Rapids Prairie has only faced two Central Iowa Metro League schools this year. Came up empty in both. Looking to drive it in. Waukee Northwest with Billick. They're going to reverse it around. There could be some nerves here early on as this pass is going to be deflected and stolen away.
Looked like early on Northwest wanted to get inside to Danberg, try to establish that down low.
And stepping on the end line was Brindley Haydenfeld, the first turnover of the contest. Committed by Cedar Rapids Prairie. Prairie, their fifth trip to the state tournament, first since 2020. And Laura, we should mention it. Two first-year head coaches roaming the sidelines, but they are no stranger to the state tournament.
No, several state titles between the two of them at different schools. And kind of interesting as Sam Powell came out of retirement. He had coached at East High School here in Des Moines for many, many years and got a state title there. And Bruce Dahl, who's over on the sidelines of Prairie, he has won titles at four different schools throughout his years of coaching. So, yeah, first year at their respective schools right now, but no stranger to the state tournament.
The shot off the mark. We had her first shot of the contest. The rebound will belong to Billick. She'll look to drive it ahead with the left hand and fumbled it out of bounds. Another turnover for Northwest. Well, I joke about Bruce Dahl, probably has a VRBO rented out for the month of March in Des Moines. He's been here so many times. 4 state titles at Dyke New Hartford. 1 at Ackley Geneva, Wellsburg Steamboat Rock. And in his first year at Cedar Rapids Prairie, looking at the crossover by Worley, and she'll draw contact and will go to the line to shoot 2.
Well, I think, both of these coaches, just the knowledge of what you need to do to build a program, to get them to state, and then to have them be consistent winners. That's what these guys do on their respective sidelines.
Jenny Lovewich picks up her first personal foul, and Worley gets our first point of the game with the free throw. Kiana, a sophomore, averaging just over 16 a game. And the next one goes through as Worley hits both free throws. Now, Cedar Rapids Prairie can score in bunches this year. They lead the state in points with now 1,594 points scored this season. Looking to drive it, Jenny Lovewich to the top of the key. That's Croat's shot off the mark. Jenny Lovewich, the rebound. It'll be fought for underneath. Tied up, possession arrow will give it to Prairie.
I think you're right. Nerves for both of these teams a little bit shaky on both sides and a little bit ragged, and it'll just take a few times up and down the floor for them to get into that rhythm that they would like to have.
Worley, a sophomore, has really captured the attention of a lot of college scouts through her AAU play, wearing number 3 for Prairie. Now at the top, the 3 by Larson. Good!
Work it inside out, and that's exactly what they did. They worked the ball around, see what they could find, kick it inside, then kick it outside to the open shooter.
Waukee Northwest has only been able to get a shot off twice, as Croat looks to work, will be fouled. And that one is going to be on Asia Beal, her first. So Croat drawing the contact will put it in play here. The three off the mark by Vogt. And the rebound to Prairie. Larson will fire. That's got some nerve, some juice in the legs, Laura, on that shot.
And that was an indecision, too, because right at the first time she looked at it, she didn't take it, and then loaded back up and got a little bit too much energy behind it.
And if you've been watching Cedar Rapids Prairie this season, you know they want to run. So we'll not waste time on the shot clock. Croat in the lane, can't get at the ball. Her rebound putback is there for Waukee Northwest.
But she just muscled her way into the middle and got it up off the glass, but stayed right there with it, got the offensive board and put back.
Worley looks to go to work. Feeds Diaz. Doolin underneath, who will go to the line. As Waukee Northwest will pick up their second team foul here in the quarter.
Prairie doing a good job of moving without the basketball. The flow of the offense is constant motion. They're getting the backdoor cuts.
Billick picks up the foul. That's her first. Now at the line with Diaz Doolin. As a team, Cedar Rapids Prairie, they do get to the line quite a bit. In fact, coming off of that win against Iowa City West by 21 in the regional final. Only all 5 starters scored in that game and took a shot. So bench, if they continue to get into foul trouble, could be a question here later on. Sadie McCann, the freshman, into the game for the first time for Northwest. This three up, left, long. Rebound fought for, tipped out, last touch by Prairie. So a little bit of a different lineup out on the floor for Waukee Northwest. They have McCann, Vogt, along with Danberg, Billick, and Croat. And for Cedar Rapids Prairie, they're starting 5 still with Beal, Larson, Worley, Haydenfeld, and Diaz Doolin. How about the drive and finish by Worley?
That didn't take any time at all. She just did a little crossover dribble and got by everybody. Defense kind of standing around for Northwest.
Kiana has handles and a go button. Here's Danberg on the block, the kick out. McCann on the drive, has it knocked away. Shot clock still with 10 on it. Croat will hurry to the hoop, can't get the shot to fall, and the rebound to Prairie.
Defense is really good stepping up right now for Prairie. They are just shutting down any driving lane.
Now Worley trying to get a screen at the top, works against McCann. Haydenfeld will drive it in. Right hand shot, can't get it to fall, but is fouled by Croat, and that'll be the 3rd team foul on Waukee Northwest.
You can see the game plan right now early on is to put the ball on the floor, get into attack mode, get right in to this Wolves defense, see if they can draw the fouls and get into their bench.
Haydenfeld, the top free throw shooter on the team, left something to be desired on that free throw attempt. Now we'll get another run at it. It's the second one. In fact, Haydenfeld right at 89% on the season. Sam Powell wants, needs, and gets a timeout here as his team is down by 7.
Well, you got to spark your team right now, and you've got to get their focus and get their attention.
And it'll be a 30-second timeout. 7-point lead. How about Prairie getting their game? I mean, there was jitters early on for Prairie, but they got their game out on the court first.
Yeah, they were able to work through that a couple of times up and down the floor. You shake those nerves off, and then you just get back to playing basketball. Right now, Waukee Northwest has struggled a little bit getting in to that mindset.
There's a good look at Asia Beal. 16 points in the regional final, looking for her first bucket here in the quarterfinals in Class 5A. It is the last quarterfinal of the day in Class 5A. Lineups remain the same out on the court. Boat will look to go to work up top. Looking to drive it. Billick gets the left-hand layup.
And those are the kinds of action that you want to see after a timeout. What happens after the timeout? How does the team respond? And Sam Powell got that timeout, got some things drawn up, and the team responded and got a quick bucket.
A very young roster for Waukee Northwest. Not one senior. And looking to drive at the top is Beal, and she'll be called for the travel. Now Prairie will go to their bench. Presley Estrada, the senior, will check in for the first time she's in for Beal. By the way, substitutions brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free at imtins.com. Looking to go to work, Jenya Lovewich. Caught up in traffic. Here's Billick. She's got 4 of the 6 for Northwest as they start to claw their way back into it.
Yeah, and Billick is doing a good job of finding the driving lanes and just putting her head down, getting to the hoop.
Now here's Worley. Haydenfeld will look to bully her way in. Can't get past. Vote. And a foul going to be called here on Waukee Northwest. That's going to be their 4th.
And that might be on Croat. And that, if that is, that's 2.
Yeah, Rami Croat will pick up her 2nd and will have to check out. Coming into the game is going to be Kennedy Princehouse, the 5'6" sophomore. And Northwest also going to their bench, as Danberg will check back in. Here's a 3. Left short by Haydenfeld. Dead ball rebound will give it back to Waukee Northwest. Earlier today, Johnston defeated Iowa City Liberty 73-45 in the opening game of the tournament. Ankeny Centennial a winner over Pleasant Valley 51-47. Dowling Catholic just beat Davenport North prior to this one. And, of course, we've got the 3A quarterfinals coming up tonight. This 3, good, knocked down by Presley Estrada. And look at this, we're all tied up at 9.
Well, good setup that time. They just ran their motion. Now they're getting their feet underneath them. They took that timeout. They were able to get a score coming out of the timeout. Now they seem to be on the right track, and Billick is a player that has certainly worked well, not only putting the ball on the floor, but coming around off screens, ready to shoot.
Vanna Billick coming to play. She's got 7. Second leading scorer and co-captain on this team. You know, and she's deadly from three-point range, 41%, which places her in the top 10 in Class 5A.
She is certainly their floor leader, and she's showing it right now. So she's leading by example, not just being vocal. And she's out there directing her team right now. So feeling pretty good about how her game is going so far in this first quarter.
A 7-0 run put together by Waukee Northwest. Worley using the double screen high, looks to drive in. Goes with the right hand, left hand side, and will put it in for 2. Worley now with 6.
She's so quick off the bounce, just can get by defenders, gets by the first wave, and quickly gets to the glass. And even though she's a little smaller than the rest of the players out there, she knows how to get the ball into the right position to get around defense.
A steal by Estrada leads to Worley in the block. Knocked down by Princehouse. And on the other end, the layup not there for Waukee Northwest. Jenya Lovewich too strong. Rebound. Knocked out of bounds, it will belong to Northwest.
Well, just as I say, she knows how to protect the ball when she goes up for a shot. She gets it blocked, and it leads to a run out the other way. They just could not convert.
Jenya Lovewich start on that volleyball team that went to the state championship. Now we'll hit the bucket here. And we're all tied up at 11.
Perfect give and go. Just kick it out to the wing and make a cut. Get that hand up, call for the basketball.
Shot clock is off. As Prairie, they've had the hot hand here so far by Worley. Leading Prairie with 6. In the lane, the jumper up by Diaz-Dulan will go through. And that'll be the end of the opening quarter. And what a quarter it was. 13-11. Prairie builds a 7-point lead. Northwest comes back to tie it. And Prairie will leave the opening 8 with a 2-point lead. We'll be back with more basketball as you're watching it here, brought to you by the Mid-American Energy Company.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
If you grill it, he will come.
Hey.
Is this heaven?
Nope. It's fairway.
Across Iowa, hundreds of neighborhood banks are providing jobs, supporting businesses, and strengthening our communities. Here, success is built by you, and the life you build is backed by Iowa banks. See what we mean at iowabankers.com.
Second quarter about ready to get underway, 13-11. Prairie with the lead on Northwest with Laura Leonard. I am BJ Shaban. Out on the floor, Croat back out with those 2 fouls. Here's Billick at the top. Joined by Boat, McCann, and Danberg, and a foul on the floor here on Prairie. As Prairie will have Estrada, Larson, Worley, Haydenfeld, and Diaz-Dulan. Northwest will put it in play. Here's McCann, has it knocked away, last touch by Prairie.
You have to be strong with the basketball. You've got to pull it in. You got to get both hands on it, get a good grip on it. Otherwise, they're going to reach in there, try to strip and steal and go the other way.
Northwest looking to space things out.
They're going up against a zone. Looks like a 2-3 or a 2-1-2. They're bringing the middle of that zone up to try to clog up the middle.
McCann called for the travel. (13-11). Billick leading the way for Waukee Northwest with 7. 6 scored by Kiana Worley. Northwest with 6 turnovers so far. How about the 3 ball? Put down by Larson, her second triple of the game. She's got 67 threes on the season, which puts her 3 behind the state's leader in 5A.
Yeah, she certainly is a pure shooter, and you could see that with their jumper. She has turned herself into a 3-level shooter, can score off the bounce or outside mid-range game as well.
Back that state leader, Jenica Lewis of Johnston. This 3 off the mark. Going to be tipped in. Numbers for Waukee Northwest if they can bring it ahead. Vogt will hand it to Croat inside. Billick, layup good with the left hand.
Billick has been really good this first half and moving so well without the ball. She has just worn out that side of the floor and that side of the lane.
Now with 9 in the game, Prairie leads it by 3. Beal back out on the floor for Prairie. Here's a 3 ball. Good again from the right corner by Larson. She's found her spot. She's got 9.
good ball rotation and good movement to get that ball over to her in the corner.
And back to a 6-point lead for Prairie. Their largest was at 7. Croat in the paint, can't get it to fall. Great defense by Diaz-Doolin.
Yeah, that was really good defense by Diaz-Doolin as she stayed right with Croat. As she was making a ton of moves, she stayed right with her.
McCann trying to post up inside. Billick will get it to McCann along the corner. And Sadie will be fouled and will go to the line.
Looked like they switched up defensively that time, matching up out of that zone.
Kiana Worley will pick up the foul. That's her first. Team's first here in the second quarter. McCann, third in the state in free throw percentage at 89. And she can find her way to the line. So the 5'9" freshman back there again. And knocks them both down. So a 4-point game here. By the way, that is the first bench points scored in this contest.
Yeah, both of these teams, and you had mentioned it, stay with their starters for a good amount of the time. Don't have a whole lot of bench depth, but they have a couple that they can go to, but their starters have most of the minutes.
Vogt with the steal out ahead. Janulovich can't finish it off. Prairie trying to speed it ahead the other way.
It's kind of what we were thinking. May have a little bit of a track meet, but can't seem to get things going. Getting the stops on either end to get the running game up and down.
Boy, Bruce Dahl's style certainly transferred to Prairie. Up and down, get your buckets, and get back defensively.
Well, I think that you get the right athletes, you get the buy-in from the team, and it's a style that's fun to play because you do get up and down the floor and score a lot of points, and so it doesn't take much to convince kids to step into this style of basketball.
A steal by Larson, and it's going to be taken right back by Vogt. Northwest out ahead. Janulovich going to be called for a double dribble. And Croat will come back into the contest. She's in for Billick. Also, back in is Danberg. Prairie, with their starting 5, out on the floor with Beal, Larson, Worley, Haydenfeld, and Diaz-Doolin. Tough pass to handle, and Prairie will turn it over.
Well, the defense up top starting to come out and trap off of the screens, and that caused them to hurry up a little bit, make those errant passes. Could not get a straight line look to make good chest passes to move the ball around.
So here's McCann, guarded by Worley. Little dribble handoff at the top. Danberg along the baseline, caught up in a 2-time. Janulovich gets her pocket picked by Larson.
One thing that both of these teams are doing very well is double teaming. As soon as the ball goes somewhere, they've got somebody coming in from the backside. So you have to be careful. If you're going to make a move one way and turn back the other way, there's going to be a defender right in your face.
Beal trying to get it inside. McCann will end up with it for Northwest. Sadie to the rack, and the rack won.
Lost control of it on the way up. I think somebody may have gotten a hand in there, but looking for a clean, straight drive. And just the last second, couldn't maintain control.
So Billick will come back into the game for Croat. who's sitting with those 2 fouls. Game plan has changed for Sam Powell and Waukee Northwest with that foul trouble in the first half here.
And been able to manage through that and not get down by much. So you've got your starters on the bench, a couple of your starters on the bench, and you've not lost too much in this ball game, only down 4.
Diaz-Doolin forces the issue. Danberg will end up with it. Logan Vogt ahead. She'll drive in and contact, but it's on the floor. That is going to be the 3rd team foul called on Prairie. And this one goes against Worley, her 2nd. So the Wolves will have to inbound. The 3 from the corner. In and out. Danberg rebound. Putback is there. A big bucket for Cassidy Danberg. The 6'1" sophomore checks into the scoring column.
Did a good job of positioning herself to get to the spot as that ball came out of the rim. But it was a great inbound pass. They swung it around the zone, and Billick could not get it to fall, but Danberg right there to clean it up.
Danberg with the swat. It'll stay with Prairie.
You know, sometimes you get a bucket like that. You get the garbage bucket, and then it gives you a little spark in your game. And defensively, you come down, and yeah, she's thinking that one's going the other way. But good job of timing that, getting up, getting the block.
Prince House is in for Jenya Lovewich. And Asia Beal will come back in for Estrada. Beal with it now in the block. Tough shot, couldn't get it to fall. Danberg might have disrupted it. Out ahead to McCann, underneath. Can't get the layup to fall, but is fouled. This one will go against Diaz-Doolin, her first.
Looked clean, but they say they got her maybe on the swat right up against the head.
They're actually going to say that's against Haydenfeld. And Sadie McCann, calm, cool, collected at the line. A great free throw shooter, knocks that one down. She's got 3. For the tie. In and out.
Putting on some pressure in the backcourt, looking to try to trap right as they get over half court.
Haydenfeld's 3 off the mark. Rebound tipped up. Belongs to Prairie. And to the line, Brindley Haydenfeld will go as she's fouled by Vogt, who will pick up her first.
This has kind of become a little bit of a slugfest. You've really got to work hard to get your points, and it's a battle down low.
Now, does that favor Waukee Northwest because of the style that they play?
Yeah, I think it probably does. I think that they're kind of grinders. They work hard in the middle. They put it on the floor. They drive. They look for those straight line drives. And they like to mix it up in the middle.
Croat will come back into the game for Danberg. As the free throw is knocked down by Haydenfeld. She's got 2, all from the line. And it's a 2-point lead for Prairie. Here's Croat looking to go to work. Drives, finishes with the right hand.
Give her a little screen up top. She's able to dribble off of that and get a clear path to the hoop. So they spread the floor, let her go one-on-one.
Worley, a lot of contact. Ball still with Prairie. How about the 3 by Haydenfeld? Can't get it to fall. Here's McCann. Going to be caught up by Beal. Got to identify Billick, the dangerous three-point shooter, as the first half winds down. McCann to work. And just lost it off of her knee.
And that was just because Beal stepped in there and was helping out. She's a good on-ball defender, but helped out that time on the straight line drive.
So Danberg will come back in for Croat. Also, Jenya Lovewich is in for Prince House for Waukee Northwest. Shot clock is off. 28 seconds to go in the opening half. Beal on the wing will enter it. Here's Haydenfeld. Left hand layup, not there. Rebound by Beal. Puts it up strong and one.
Beal with a big defensive play on the other end to force the turnover. Now gets the cleanup duty. Gets the bucket and the foul on Danbergen. They consider Beal kind of the enforcer of this team. She's big and strong in the middle, on the inside, and she just proved it right there.
Beal caps off the three-point play. It's a three-point lead for Prairie. Closing seconds, Vogt. Long, no good, and that is the end of the first half. So Waukee Northwest has seen Prairie take the lead from the opening tip-off. They've tied it a couple of times, but haven't been able to take the lead. And right now, Prairie up 23-20 as you're watching the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Tournament on the IGHSAU Digital Network, brought to you by Mid-American Energy.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe it. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
Different people have different needs, so Delta Dental of Iowa has affordable dental and vision coverage that meets you where you are. Small business on a budget? We have options with no employer costs. Traditional Medicare plans don't cover dental, but we do. And if you can't get benefits at work, you can buy direct from us. Plus, we give back to local communities, so you help make an impact. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, for your community.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Fuel choice that's cheaper, homegrown, and better for the planet? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision, to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Wow, what a first half. Cedar Rapids Prairie with a lead on Waukee Northwest, 23-20. We are at intermission here at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines. It is the opening day of the Girls State Basketball Tournament. Hope you're having a great day wherever you may be. And Laura, that first half, about what we expected. And for the tournament, Prairie knocking on the door, breaking up the CIML party in the semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, the way that they're playing right now in this first half, I thought it was a good balanced attack by Prairie. They did a good job defensively, slowed down Northwest a little bit, didn't allow them to get some of those drives that they usually like to get, and they Northwest couldn't get the inside game going. So Prairie has done a good job kind of setting the tone here in the first half.
And they came out stronger. I mean, Waukee Northwest, a younger team, looked like a young team in that opening quarter.
Had some jitters right away, and finally Sam Powell had to call a timeout, was able to get things righted, and they were able to respond out of the timeout, got some things going, got it tied back up. Then just a little bit of separation there at the end of the second quarter where Prairie made a little run.
Well, as we take a look at it, the day started with Johnston, a winner over Iowa City Liberty, 73-45. Centennial bested Pleasant Valley by 4. The Jags had to hold on to win that game. Dowling Catholic, a winner over Davenport North in the other semifinal. And here, Prairie leading it over Waukee Northwest at 23-20. The 3A quarterfinals are going to be coming up tonight. Top-seeded Mount Vernon against West Marshall. Look out for that one. West Marshall is sneaky good, but Mount Vernon, they've got some muscle. And then at 6:45 tonight, it's 4-seeded Cherokee taking on Esterville Lincoln Central. The Midgets, a little underrated, and that one could get interesting because Cherokee likes to get up and down. And then the nightcap tonight, Dubuque Wahlert, 2nd seed, taking on the 7-seeded Spirit Lake Indians. Well, we are going to take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the first half statistics as you're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament here on the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network, brought to you by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Excelling in athletics takes teamwork, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. These are the same qualities that help our pig farmers and our communities thrive. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics and the student athletes who make us all proud. Visit iowapork.org/wecare to meet the people behind the pork and hear about our winning approach to caring for our pigs, the environment, and our communities.
SWIC is a community. Southwestern Community College is a place in rural southwest Iowa where students from across the world come to be a part of a tight-knit family, Spartan Nation, where they study, train, grow, thrive, and are called by name, not by number. At SWIC, we are one.
(23-20), Cedar Rapids Prairie with the lead on Northwest as we're at intermission with Laura Leonard. I'm BJ Shaven. And Laura, the first half, what jumps out at you on the stat sheet?
Well, you look at the shooting percentages, even though they're behind, 42% Northwest is shooting and Prairie 38%, but three-point shooting has carried Cedar Rapids Prairie. And the rebounding side of things, pretty even. I mean, for the most part, everything is even up and down the categories, except Waukee Northwest has those 11 turnovers, And Prairie has been able to capitalize on that. You can't turn the basketball over in state tournament games. You can't turn it over anytime. But in state tournament games, it's even more important, and Prairie has been able to capitalize on those turnovers.
Well, the leading scorers, Vanna Billick leading the way for Northwest with 9, 4 of 8 from the field. 4 points scored by Rami Croat. Leading the way for Prairie, it's Emily Larson with 9, all 3-pointers for her. She's 3 of 6 from downtown. And 6 scored by Kiona Worley, as she also has a pair of assists as well. So when we come back, we're getting closer to the second half as it will resume here in a moment as you're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament here from Des Moines.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
If you grill it, he will come.
Hey.
Hey.
Is this heaven?
Nope. It's fairway.
All right, fans. It's official state tournament merchandise. It's now available online. Time to get out those smartphones. Scan that QR code on the screen now or visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style.
All right, the second half about ready to get underway. And Laura.
Were you ordering, by the way? Is that what took you so long to jump back in and you were ordering?
Yeah, I was trying to think. I was trying to find my size, and I can't find.
Okay. Medium?
Large. It threw me off, and usually large is very big. And I think I got kicked back and said, have a salad tonight. Anyway, with this matchup, jitters played a big part in that opening half. Prairie has led by as many as 7 in this contest, 6 another time, but Northwest just seems like they're on the verge of getting their game out onto the floor.
Yeah, and you have to feel that halftime came at a good time for them and a chance to regroup, get settled in, and go, okay, you know what, you got your first half underneath you. You got it behind you. Forget about it. You played a decent first half. We're not that far behind. So let's go out and then explode here in the second half. Play the game that we've played all season long and get ready to go. And then for Prairie, they have to keep continuing doing what they've been doing the entire first half. They've had good ball movement. The defense has been really good. They've been able to run when they could.
Again, the first ever meeting between these two schools, and it comes here at the state basketball tournament. Waukee Northwest on their schedule, they had only played Iowa City West out east, and it was a 75-45 win. That was back on December the 7th. Prairie 0-2 against the CIML, but they do have some key wins against some high-quality competition this season. Beat Bishop Heelan, number 1 in 4A, and Mount Vernon, who's number 1 in 3A. So here we go, 23-20 your score. Starting 5 out of the floor with Worley holding the ball along with Beal Larson, Haydenfeld, and Diaz Doolin. And Worley thought about the 3, backed it in. Haydenfeld will dump it into Beal. Tries to go to her right and might have slid, and she did slide the pivot foot.
Again, the double team right there wanted to make that move, use that power dribble, made the move, but the defense clamped down, and she drug that pivot foot.
Well, for the Wolves in their starting five, they've got Croat, Billick, Genulovich, Boat, and Danberg. Here's Billick. They tried to get her a double screen up high, couldn't work with it. Great defense put on by Diaz-Doolin. Northwest inside. Genulovich reverse layup. It finally drops. And it's a 1-point game.
She's had a couple of those in this ball game where she's gotten herself in kind of crazy positions, but able to get the angle.
How about the three here by Haydenfeld? Just couldn't get it to go down. Another offensive board for Prairie, and now a foul by Waukee Northwest. Let's see who this is against. It will be Billick, and that'll be her second.
Well, again, fouls, we're going to have to keep track of that to see how that goes. There was a little bit of an issue in the first half as some of the starters had to sit with a couple of fouls. So see how Prairie attacks them. See if they feel like they want to pick up a third foul on some of their starters.
Haydenfeld puts it on the deck to the hoop. Can't get the bucket, but does get her own rebound. And now we'll be tied up. Waukee Northwest will get it back on the alternate possession.
Great footwork in the middle by Haydenfeld. Just a little too strong with the shot, but what a good power move.
She has just 2 points, but as this game goes along, has become more aggressive offensively. Inside, Danberg, and one!
Been trying to get her even from the beginning of the ball game. They wanted to get the ball inside, get it into Danberg's hands. Nice little hook over the top of the defense.
And Danberg will cap off the three-point play. She now has 5. Little pressure here by Northwest. It'll be broken. How about the three left alone? Larson can't get it to fall. Here's Vogt on the attack. Left it short, and the rebound lost out of bounds. Genulovich actually called for a travel before the ball came out of her hands.
Looks like she's coming up, just limping a little bit. Might have come down on the side of somebody's foot.
So Northwest with their first lead of the game with that and one by Danberg. Now here's Larson. Again, left it short. This will stay with Prairie. Prairie in the second half, though, is getting to the offensive glass.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of giving themselves second opportunities, and Larson is starting to think about it a little bit too much on her shot, and she's missed a couple here from beyond the arc. And you can tell just the way shoulders drop. She's thinking about it. Just got to keep shooting. Shoot or shoot. And so you got to keep shooting it until you see it go through the hoop.
I love that motto. She's 3 of 9 now. All 9 have been from three-point range. Inside Beal, blocked away by Danberg.
Couple of those in this ball game. Danberg went straight up, hands to the sky.
And on the other end, converting is Billick. She's in double figures with 11, and now Northwest has opened up a 4-point lead.
And Billick, the team leader, Coach Dahl wants a timeout, but getting her team fired up, and after she scored the basket, turned to her team and said, now we go, let's get things rolling.
So Northwest has gotten their game out on the floor, lead it by 4. For Prairie, the shots just need to fall, right?
Well, they're getting good looks, and like you said, they're going to the offensive glass as well. So long as you know your teammates have your back and they're going to get to the glass, hopefully pull the offensive rebound in case you miss, go ahead and just relax and continue to shoot the basketball. You've got 4 players, 4 of the 5 starters, average double figures this season, so you know they can score. Don't doubt yourself when you go up to shoot it.
Out on the floor for Prairie, their starting 5 with Beal, Larson, Worley, Haydenfeld, and Diaz-Doolin. Here's Haydenfeld. The kick out, knocked out by Waukee Northwest. For the Wolves, they're sticking with their starting 5 in Croat, Billick, Jenya Lovewich, Vogt, and Danberg. So 5:19 to play here in the third quarter.
They were doing a little work over on the bench on Vogt. I think they were.
Yeah, Vogt is out. Yep.
Yeah, taping her up. Maybe she's got a scratch, bleeding a little bit, but they got her patched up, and she's back on the bench ready to go.
I beg your pardon, Sadie McCann in the game for the first time in the late half. Here's Croat on the drive, a bully drive. Just couldn't get it to go down. Good defense by Haydenfeld to hold her ground.
Boy, when Croat puts the ball on the floor, she's putting it on the floor, and she's determined to get inside, get to the rim.
Here's Beal. Now the 3. Good by Larson. You're right, Laura. Shooters shoot.
Well, you just had to get it to her in the right spot, and just naturally you just rise up and you knock it down. Don't think about things.
And a foul on the floor going to be called against Prairie here. This goes against Haydenfeld. That'll be her first. And now it looks like Vogt with that, as you mentioned, the heavily bandaged left arm. She'll come in for Jenya Lovewich as Northwest will inbound underneath their own hoop. It's a 1-point game. Now the 3 by Croat. Can't get it the roll. McCann with the board. The freshman goes inside. Billick will fill it up.
How about Billick? She is playing quite a ball game here this afternoon.
Larson can't get the layup. Rebound to Vogt, who will lose it out of bounds. This will stay with Prairie.
Billick got back on defense and blocked that shot. So she is definitely leading this team this afternoon.
Now Beal at the top. Gives to Worley, who's been quiet here so far in the second half. Keona. Hard spin to her left, comes back right. That's what she can do, folks.
All the quickness, all the ball handling skills. One move one way, spin back the other way, get the soft touch.
Keona saying, give me a touch. Now look on the drive. Billick.
All she needs to do is turn the corner, and you give her a little sliver of daylight. She's able to get through it. She's got a nice little scoop shot.
Worley going to be fouled by Croat. That's going to be her third. Oh, I beg your pardon. They said it's Vogt. So Croat still with 2. Here's Worley. How about that? And 1! Oh, my!
You know, I'm always amazed at smaller players that don't have the height, but when they get in there amongst the long arms and the tall trees, they know how to make the adjustment to get it higher off the glass and get that soft kiss to get it to fall through.
Keona Worley, just a sophomore, for the tie. Can't get it to fall. And the rebound of the freshman in McCann. Billick swatted but fouled by Haydenfeld, who will pick up her second. This is the most competitive quarterfinal we've seen today. And it's for 2 schools that are hungry to play Dowling Catholic in the semifinals coming up on Thursday. And the free throw by Billick is good now with 14 in the game.
Well, in 2 schools that have a lot of young talent. As we talked about before, Waukee Northwest starting those 4 sophomores and 1 junior in Billick, who's been their leader today, and Prairie with 2 juniors and a sophomore to go along with a couple of seniors.
Now a timeout going to be taken here by Northwest. It's a 3-point lead at 33-30 with 3:10 to play here in the third quarter. And you just got a feeling this one's going to come down the stretch, but Northwest to begin the second half down by 3. went on a nice run to get a lead, and right now just sort of keeping Prairie at bay.
Yeah, they made some adjustments at halftime. They talked about what they needed to do, and they have really picked it up here in the third quarter. And I think Prairie's struggling a little bit to find that rhythm on offense, but they have put it in the hands of Worley the last couple of times down the floor, and you're seeing the defense now extend even further out.
Diaz Doolin underneath with the pass to Beal, who's fouled and will go to the line to shoot two.
And that'll be 3 on Billick if it's her.
It is Billick. Beal misses the first one, 61% on the season.
And this is a ball game where free throws may be an important part, especially down the stretch.
As a team, Prairie shooting right at 72%. Here's Vogt looking to drive it in. As it knocked away by Beal, it will stay with Waukee Northwest, 27 on the shot clock. So Croat will look to put it in play. Billick inside to Danberg. Pivots to her left, can't get the shot to fall. Rebound to Vogt. Size has been important for Waukee Northwest on that rebound. Here's Billick, the kick out Danberg. They'll reset. Billick, scoop shot, can't get it to fall. Danberg, another offensive board, and a foul going to be called here on Prairie.
3 opportunities for Northwest going to the glass. We talked about Prairie going to the offensive glass early here in the third quarter. Now Northwest starting to do the same thing.
Beal will pick up her second. Now the 3 off the mark. And stepping on the end line was Vogt. So Prairie will get it back. Sada McCann will come back into the game for Danberg. Skip pass all the way over the top. Diaz Doolin for 3. Rebound putback is there. Emily Larson showing she's got an inside game.
Larson just planted herself there as they worked the ball around. Got the inside position. Perfect spot for her.
Larson with 14 on the afternoon. 1-point game. Here's McCann. Now to Billick for 3. Got it!
Billick has shown us what she can do all 3 levels of her game. Done it by putting the ball on the floor. Now steps out and hits a big 3-pointer.
The answer on this end, not there. Worley with the rebound, put back, good.
Well, right now it's a game of going to the offensive glass, boxing out. It's become a rebounding game.
Billick with 20 in the contest to pace Waukee Northwest. McCann's 3, good from the corner.
The freshman steps up and knocks down a big one. Back-to-back threes for Northwest.
She's got 6. Waukee Northwest with her largest lead at 5. Here's Worley on the attack. Will go to the line to shoot 2 as she went in and drew contact from Croat.
Once she got through the initial wave of the full court pressure, she just weaved her way through everybody to get all the way to the rim.
Okay, 54 seconds to play. Croat just picked up her third. Billick with 3. Worley to the line, team down by 5. Worley with 12 on the afternoon. And the free throw goes through. That ends an 0 for 4 streak that Prairie had going from the line. So Danberg will come back in. Jenya Lovewich will sit. And Worley caps off both free throws. 3-point game, 50 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Billick eyeing and driving. Left hand, reverse layup, not there. Rebound to Croat, tied up by Beal. Prairie will get it back on the arrow.
You mentioned Croat's name. We have not called her name a lot here in the third quarter. It's been a lot of Billick that we have seen doing the damage. Danberg's done some damage, but Croat, who is one of their leading scorers, has not really touched the basketball at all.
Looking to drive, Worley will kick out. Here's Beal. Now the three by Haydenfeld. Left it way short. And there is no shot clock now as we'll wind up the third quarter. It's a 3-point game. Croat will be at the point here for Waukee Northwest.
You know, Haydenfeld's disappointed in that shot, but you just have to shake that off. You got to play defense here.
Croat on the drive, gets the bucket. That's her 6th point, and that's the end of the third quarter. So we have played 3. Northwest leads it by 5, 41-36, as you're watching the Class 5A quarterfinal here on the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network, brought to you by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Welcome back here to Wells Fargo Arena with Laura Leonard. I'm BJ Shaven as you're watching the state tournament here on the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network, brought to you by Mid-American Energy. Very entertaining game. Northwest leads it by 5, 41-36. Out on the floor for the second half, it's Croat, Boat, Danberg, Billick, and McCann for Northwest. And for Prairie, they've got Presley Estrada into the game. Had the tough defense on Croat. Here's Worley with the ball. She's joined by Haydenfeld, Larson, as Worley gets the tough bucket as Keona gets it going. Billick back here on this end. Has had the hot hand, 20 in the contest for number 22. Here's McCann. Drives, can't get the N1. But Sadie McCann at the line to shoot 2. McCann today 3 of 4, but 89% on the season. Misses the front end of the 2-shot opportunity. Sadie was 6 in the contest. Of course, 3rd team all CIML selection. Not bad for a freshman.
Just a lot of potential on this Northwest team, a lot of talent. And to have this kind of success early in their careers is going to bode well for this team. They are going to continue to have success, and probably we'll see them down here at the state tournament over the next few years.
So Boat just picked up the foul. That's her 3rd. So Waukee Northwest with 3 players in foul trouble. Croat, Billick, and Boat. Here's Worley on the drive, kickoff. Larson will get buckets. Worley with the assist, and it's a 1-point game.
Getting to see a little bit of the Worley package package and what she can do. Great pass.
Oh, Croat! And one as she fills it up. What a dime. A pocket pass thrown there by Vanna Billick as Croat caps it off.
Not a whole lot of room to be able to get that ball through.
So 4-point lead as Croat hits the free throw. And a timeout going to be taken by Cedar Rapids Prairie with 6:58, and it's a full timeout. We'll take one with them as you're watching the state tournament here on the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network, brought to you by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Well, they are having fun here at the Girls State Basketball Tournament, and you should too. A lot of great activity, and hey, kids in Central Iowa, you don't have school on Wednesday because of a snow blizzard, come on down.
They'll still be playing basketball even though it's blizzarding out. They're going to still play basketball. I think, didn't they play a state tournament one year when there was tornado warnings?
Yes. That was just a couple of years back. That was the state championship. It was in 2A, and
Yes.
Bruce Dahl was coaching in that game. Dyke New Hartford taking on Central Lyon. Worley drove it in, lost it off of her knee. As we have 6:49 to play.
Prairie keeps making a charge, and Northwest continues to hold them off. They get close, and then Northwest has a big bucket or gets to the line.
Billick going to be fouled on the floor by Larson, who will pick up her second. It's a carbon copy, but reversed of the first half.
Yeah, it really is. And it seems like Northwest now is kind of in control of this ball game, that they are playing a little bit more relaxed.
Northwest with the lead and the ball. Vogt caught up top, will hand it off. Jenya Lovewich inside. Danberg will finish it.
Oh, what a great look as the defense rotates over to cover up and help out. You get Danberg on the backside, wide open.
Largest lead of the game for Northwest. On the drive, Larson will draw contact. That's on Jenya Lovewich. That'll be her second.
Able to clear aside for Larson that time. Puts it hard on the ground right there, just right across the top. Jenya Lovewich gets the block and the foul.
That free throw by Larson is not there, and this is what Prairie can ill afford as we have an IMT substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free at IMT Insurance. Jenya Lovewich will check out. Coming back in is going to be Croat. So you've got McCann, Danberg, Billick. McCann gets the bucket. Great beat from Danberg. And things are starting to open up now for Waukee Northwest, their largest lead at 8. And a timeout going to be taken here by Cedar Rapids Prairie.
And Coach Dahl kind of feels the same way, as he's going to take a full timeout here.
So we'll take one with them. You're watching the state tournament here on the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network, brought to you by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
48-40, Northwest with the lead on Prairie with 5:48 to play here in the game. And Laura, this one is an exciting second half with Northwest able to flip the table finally on Prairie. But Prairie still with some time here to get back into it.
Well, they need to get some quick scores right now. Coming out of this timeout, and I think we talk about it all the time. How does your team react after a coach's timeout? What happens? Do you come and score? Do you execute? Do you make things happen?
The drive not there. Larson, her putback not there. Rebound tipped out. It belongs to McCann. She'll drive it ahead. Here's Sadie.
Wow, McCann with defense right on her. Able to get it up and through the rim.
The three by Worley. Good!
Need a few more of those. Work the ball around. They'd been really concentrating trying to put the ball on the floor. Instead, they go outside, and now an ill-advised foul, and really it was a one that I'm not sure that Vogt could get out of the way. An excuse me foul, but yet a foul that adds to the total that could put Prairie on the free throw line. They're both teams a couple away from the bonus.
Vogt will pick up her fourth, so they'll go to the bench. Brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free at imtinsurance.com as Janya Lovewich will check in for Vogt.
Saving all the time that you can, rolling that ball up to half court. Might be looking to try to get a couple of three-point looks.
Those would be between Larson and Haydenfeld, the two best three-point shooters on the team for Prairie. Here's Worley. She'll take a shot. Can't get it to fall, and a dead ball rebound. It will belong to Waukee Northwest.
Got a look that they wanted, and that she can knock those down. We saw that the possession before.
Ball's out front. McCann all alone to the hoop with the left hand will get another deuce. Sadie McCann off the bench, the freshman with 10.
Just miscommunication that time, and a pass that was going really nowhere, but McCann caught up to it, and Beal had to get out of the way, didn't really want to foul her.
And a 3-second violation called against Prairie.
And those are the kind of turnovers you can't afford to have right now with just about 4 minutes to go in this ball game.
Need a defensive stop. Prairie able to get it. Now they need a bucket. Diaz-Doolin will go to the line. Jenya Lovewich will pick up her third.
I think all the fans wanted them to really get in there and get that quick score, but they did the right thing, waiting for everybody to get into the front court and get set.
And it has been a day of not good days at the line for Cedar Rapids Prairie. As Diaz-Doolin misses the free throw. This is her fourth attempt on the day. Right now, 1 out of 3. And can't get it to fall. Beal with the rebound. Put back blocked by Danberg. Diaz-Doolin too strong on the follow-up.
Boy, they've had chances inside off the offensive glass.
McCann fights and gets the rebound and then gets fouled by Larson, who will pick up her third.
McCann really having a strong performance here in the fourth quarter.
Just saw Sam Powell back at the state tournament again, and he's got a shooter in Sadie McCann, her second triple of the game. And how about this freshman is putting some icing on top of the cake. And with the 12-point lead, Laura, that three could have been the cherry on top.
It certainly could have, and defense is now starting to pick things up.
Larson gets the answer.
Northwest had been on a little bit of a run, about a 10 or a 12-3 run, and finally Prairie gets a bucket to break that run.
Back the other way with Diaz-Doolin. Now Worley looks to go to work. Watch the handles and watch the hand grab. Janya Lovewich will pick up her fourth.
When they need a quick bucket, they can spread the floor and go ahead and let Worley work.
I know defenders in the Mississippi Valley Conference are saying, yeah, you grab air when you're guarding Kiana Worley.
The thing that's kind of hampered Prairie is their free throw shooting performance, only 44% here today from the line.
And the sophomore able to knock down the free throw. Now with 20. And she looks a little gassed here with 2:49 to play. But I don't think you could get her to come out.
No, nobody's coming out of this ball game.
She's played every second as Worley connects on both free throws. What a gamer. Billick, you think about the big minutes she had in the opening moments of this game when Prairie jetted out to a 7-point lead at 9-2. It was Vanna Billick who guided the way. Here's Croat in the paint. Can't hit the shot. Rebound fought for. It'll be tied up. Possession arrow gives it to Prairie.
And now you're at the point in the ball game where you kind of have to manage clock and how quickly you score. You can't take a lot of time. You got to hurry up, but you don't want to be too quick. So you've got to be smart about how you get things set up.
Worley going to be fouled, and that'll be the fifth team foul, so it's bonus time. 2 shots for Worley and company with 2:18 to play.
Well, that was hurry up, and it was quick because she put on a move to try to get the defense out of position, and she certainly did.
Oh, she is gassed. She steps up to that line and misses the front end of the 2-shot opportunity. Worley with 21 points today. Larson with 19 to lead the way for Prairie. Northwest led by Vanna Billick's 20. 13 by the freshman Sadie McCann off the bench as Worley now with 22. And it's a 6-point game as the officials call for time.
Well, Beal was having trouble getting that knee brace laced back up and strapped back up, and she was trying to do it before the free throw was shot, and the official did stop it and let her get things taken care of.
A little pressure. Larson going to be called for the foul. Asked why. And that is the 5th team foul on Prairie. And we're going to break out a free throw shooting contest.
Both teams in the bonus.
By the way, I just want to say it's an official state tournament. Don Martindale, the head coach of Esper Lincoln Central, came over and gave us greetings, Laura. A little forearm shiver to me. I don't know why, but a handshake to you. I think that was good.
Well, that's the official greeting, isn't it? It's in the handbook. It's in the manual.
Sadie McCann to the line here for Waukee Northwest. As Larson is out of the game for Prairie. And coming in her stead is going to be Presley Estrada, allows us to tell you. Brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free at IMTINS.com. Not good on the second one for McCann. It's a 7-point game. And to the line with Brindley Haydenfeld, the junior.
Now, Haydenfeld is going to have to take over some of the scoring. She's going to have to put it on her shoulders to pick that up with Larson on the bench.
First free throw is left long, and I think there's going to be a lot of thoughts about the free throw shooting today for Prairie.
Yeah, they have had opportunities and have not been able to knock down the free throws, right at 50%.
Back to a 6-point game, 56-50, inside of 2 minutes to play. McCann, the one you probably don't want to foul, and a timeout going to be taken by Sam Powell and the Northwest bench.
And you saw they were in trouble. They had the trap on, and you have to believe that's what Prairie's going to continue to do.
Full timeout. We'll take one with them. You're watching the state tournament here on the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network, brought to you by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
56-50. Still a glimmer here for Prairie with 1:53 to play. And for Northwest, trying to figure out, okay, how can we put this team away? We knew it was going to be close and competitive, and it's really lived up to that.
It has, and we knew it was going to be close. It was going to be rugged. It was going to be a grind to score points, but it's going to be a very good finish.
Billick will put it in play to Danberg. She's joined by Vogt, Croat, and McCann, the freshman. For Prairie, they've got Estrada, Diaz-Dulin, Haydenfeld, Worley, and Beal. Billick caught up at the top, looks to drive in, and now a foul will be called on Prairie. This goes against Presley Estrada.
It'll get her to the free throw line. There's only 8 seconds left on the shot clock, so they were doing a good job of keeping them away from the basket, and Billick was trying to dribble her way out of trouble, almost able to get them to reverse the ball and maybe run out that shot clock, but they got bailed out with foul.
Billick at 67% on the season, now with her third free throw attempt of the day, and she's made all 3. Now with 22 in the contest is Billick. Prairie down by 8. Worley. Good reversal, the 3 by Beal. Overshot the hoop. Danberg with the board, and here come the Wolves. Billick out ahead. Vogt for 3. And this will be tied up. Possession arrow keeps it on Northwest side.
That's a huge play for Northwest to hang back defensively, knock the ball away, and get the tie-up. Now they can run a little more clock.
So the Wolves will get it in. There's Billick on the drive. Why not 2 more?
Closing in on her season high of 28. Now she has 24.
And the shot hit by Diaz-Dulin. She's got 5, and a timeout going to be taken here by Prairie.
Still within striking distance, and so the quick timeout. 1 left now for both sides.
So we'll take a timeout with them. You're watching the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network, brought to you by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
60-52, Northwest with a lead on Prairie with 53 seconds to play. Northwest trying to advance to take on Dowling Catholic on Thursday morning at 11:45. Johnston and Ankeny Centennial will be the other semifinal at 10 a.m. on Thursday morning. The 3A tournament getting underway a little bit later on at 5 o'clock. Mount Vernon against West Marshall. Cherokee, Esterville, Lincoln Central at 6:45. And then the nightcap tonight, Dubuque-Wahlert taking on Spirit Lake. That's at 8:30. Here's McCann in backcourt, going to be hacked. Worley will pick up the foul. This will put Sadie McCann at the line.
Well, if you want to take a look back, Waukee Northwest is matched up with Dowling Catholic a couple of times already this season. First game out of the chute, they played each other back in November and lost that ball game to Dowling Catholic 55-42. The second meeting was not nearly as close as Dowling Catholic won that one 83-50.
If I remember right, that one was at Dowling, and the Maroons shot over 60% in that game as McCann hits the free throw. She only had 3 points at halftime, and now with a 12-point second half for the freshman in McCann. And one opportunity back on this end with Asia Beal.
And that's going to be on Billick. You could tell by her reaction, I believe, it's going to be number 5.
And she'll end the game with 24 points.
Sam Powell directing traffic out there as to how he wants the team to line up, who's running what position, and who's in charge of calling the defense.
Bill caps off the three-point play. Now we'll have 6. In backcourt, a hard foul on Croat. That was applied by Diaz-Doolin. That's her second. 37 seconds to go. 6-point game.
At the line, shooting 2 for Waukee Northwest, number 32, Romy Croat.
And Croat misses the front end. Trying to push it to a 3-possession game here is Croat with a make.
Coach Powell brings the rest of the players off the line. Doesn't want to pick up a needless foul as they battle for a rebound, but no need there as Croat puts it through the hoop.
Now Worley. Kiona to Beal. Now the 3 from the top. Left it a little bit long, did Estrada. And a rebound to Waukee Northwest and a foul on Prairie. And to the line is Leah Chenyulubwich. I mean, 3 players out on the floor for Waukee Northwest today. Vogt, Chenyulubwich, and Danberg all played on the state runner-up volleyball team this year. And last year played on that state championship match against Dowling Catholic. For some reason, the two like meeting up in the semifinals in volleyball. Now basketball coming up on Thursday.
That experience in other sports carries over to here in this arena as well. I mean, the more often you go and get that tournament feel, you know how to handle the big lights and the bright lights and the big crowds and the noise.
Worley really hit the deck hard, and you can tell she's exhausted. As the officials going to give her some time as that foul are going to go to their bench as Kennedy Princehouse will check back in. She'll come in for Croat. Will check out with 10 points and 5 fouls will Croat. By the way, a substitution brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free at imtins.com. Worley adding to her point total now with 23. And what an effort for the sophomore.
Yeah, she showed what she is capable of and her skill set, how she handles the ball so well, can put it on the floor. She's not afraid to take it in and challenge the tall players on the inside, the post players on the inside, and she's got good eyesight as well. She can find her teammates. She knows how to get them the basketball and get them involved.
McCann going to be fouled up top by Haydenfeld. Prairie not going down without a fight as McCann will toe the line. Now with 16. And again, 13 now in the second half. For the most part, in fact, throughout the first half, Prairie had led it from the opening tip. Second half belongs to the Wolves. As this is going to be tied up, that's going to do it. Waukee Northwest is going to advance with a 63-56 win as the opening day of the Class 5A tournament goes chalk. All the top seeds won, and it will be an all Central Iowa Metro League semifinal and final coming up.
Well, Prairie did start out the ball game very well. They got off to a hot start, kind of had Northwest on their heels, but they adjusted. Go back to that timeout that Sam Powell called in the first quarter, kind of got the attention of his team, and from that point on, it took a little bit of time, but they finally got into the flow of the game.
Well, it's a final. Waukee Northwest a winner, 63-56. They advance to take on Dowling Catholic in the semifinals Thursday morning at 11:45. I want to remind you, too, the other 5A semifinal, Thursday morning at 10, Johnston and Ankeny Centennial. Up next, we've got the 3A quarterfinals getting underway with top-seeded Mount Vernon taking on West Marshall. Let's go to
fans. Please direct your attention to the court for the awards presentation. In addition to receiving medallions, each participating player will receive a commemorative basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are Aaron Gerlich, Executive Director, and Gary Ross, Basketball Administrator. Congratulations to head coach Bruce Dahl and the Hawks from Cedar Rapids Prairie on an outstanding basketball season. And now, Vanna Billick will advance her team to the next round on the official bracket at center court. Wolves fans, your team advances to the semifinals and will play Dowling Catholic on Thursday at 11:45. Fans, on behalf of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, we thank you for your support and attendance. As a reminder, please exit the arena so we can prepare for the next game.
So it is a final 63-56. Waukee Northwest a winner over Cedar Rapids Prairie. What an opening day of a 5A quarterfinals.
Yeah, it's been some good basketball, and as you had mentioned, the Central Iowa Metro League has really held strong and advanced into the semifinals. But what a game we just had here with Prairie and Waukee Northwest. It was probably the best game that we've seen all morning long.
Folks, that's Laura Leonard. I want to thank our producer, Aaron Bandy, and all of us here in Des Moines. I'm BJ Shaban, and thank you for watching our live coverage of the 2025 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.